YouTube family, wagwan. Maverick in the space. Again, you know. I'm there all a quiet reasoning, you know. Me reflect on how the Vybz Kartel story and the saga are unfold in front of me. And the fact say, if Vybz Kartel never find the resources to be able to appeal to the Privy Council, you realize, say, he would have rat off in a jail though. You only realize that? He wouldn't even get a little chance here. If he say, all right, a retrial and to potentially get off of the case. Me make a little inquiry as to the kind of cost it incur to appeal a case to the Privy Council. Somebody tell me say in the region of 50 million Jamaican dollars. How much youth with a murder conviction, we get a murder conviction, can find $50 million plus legal fees. While a man with resources now, you know, he may always exhaust all of them options here. The best lawyers, upon conviction, find a cause for appeal. Spend the money, appeal to the Privy Council. So if there's even a little loophole where they can get off of the case with, them can get off because them have the resources to explore the possibility of that little loophole. Which is what Kartel essentially do, you know. Now, the reality of it, you know, is that when the system flush out Kartel and fling him away, you know, I don't think they may have figure Kartel would at some point be able to come up with the kind of resources where him could have can reach the Privy Council, you know. Forget the ruling of to quash the conviction in the murder case, you know. And remember, you know, people, how the law set up on these legal procedures set up, you know. If there's a little modicum of the possibility of innocence, you know, the man are going to get off and walk, you know. And even if you have the evidence overwhelming, you know, people, all that man and him legal team have to do, you know, is find a little glitch in the procedure, you know, and him walk free again, you know. The onus is on the state and the prosecution and the entire system, you know, to make a foolproof 100% case, see a man guilty, you know, especially with something as serious as murder, you know. And as we said, the evidence part of it is one thing, you know, but procedurally, they have to be able to properly and meticulously dot all the I's and cross all the T's. And obviously in this case, you know, all of the I's never dot and all of the T never cross. And what shocked me and that kind of, well, not shocked me, that's something we know a long time, is that if Kartel never able to still do music, and still get him streams and still get him numbers on YouTube, and obviously still earn money, if Kartel never name Kartel, if it's just a youth name, Marky Dread, or Tallers, or Blacks, from in the whole in the garrison, we don't name Kartel and we don't do music and we don't get no streams and not earn no money. Rotten up in that, you know. Rotten and dead in that. And then people come tell me about justice. Justice is a thing that is bought and sold to the highest bidder. Even this avenue of exploring the appeal to the Privy Council is only for the elite. Because there is a cost factor that separates majority of the world population from getting any justice through that, you know. Because how much people are going to be able to come up with $50 million just for appeal to the Privy Council and you know, pay your big King's Council them yet. You know, pay your legal team yet. No name justice in the world, people. There are rich justice and poor justice. And justice for the rich, where the poor can't afford. Now the people who set up the structure, what ideally we have to set up, you know, is a structure, you know, that justice is not attached to wealth and richness, you know. Ideally, something like justice, you know, should not be dependent on how rich or how poor you are, you know. How is it if it dispense justice based on if you can afford it? You know, there's something inherently flawed about that. Eh? Me just say you think about it and I watch the whole shebang, you know. And I listen to the discussions and nobody really bring it up. But if cartel never have the resources or could have find the resources, or even let us say him get help, because possibly no, more than likely, I don't know if you have fact. But the nature of a cartel though, the cartel have a whole of fans, colleagues and supporters who have the kind of resources we would have back him. So cartel is cartel. Now, if cartel was a little dirty foot youth from in the garrison, without the kind of influence and support and backative and resources, he rot in a prison. What a wicked thing. So all this shaman, this fanfare and this fancy talk about justice should be this and justice is for sale to the highest bidder. If you can't bid, you're dead in that. The system just box and kick you and juke out your eye because you can't afford otherwise. And then we are posed like justice is this noble and righteous thing. It's not, people. Anything you're going to determine the access to based on affordability and not just. It's no fear. That means a rich man can afford to do wrong and get away with it. But the poor man can't. You know, see something inherently wrong with that. Appeal to the Privy Council, you know, is financially prohibitive, you know, people. To most people, you know. And we can't, when we look on the ruling, even when some of the day I watch the case unfold in front of you, you know. Remember when the bribery thing that come for the jury, you know, we have said, Jaja, man get money if you go in there, go infiltrate the jury. And when it come up, the man still sit down by the jury over a decade after. It takes some white man up in England to look on that and say, yo, procedurally, you know, something is fundamentally wrong, you say, you know. And the white man said, you know, so nobody not gonna make no bag of nice about it, you know. There's no justice for the underprivileged. No justice. I mean, I don't know. People just think that just alright, so. And people wonder when people act and react and step out of the social norms. Them kind of something, yeah. And them kind of something, yeah, people inherently get angry about, you know. And justifiably get angry about, you know. And spark antisocial behavior about, you know. And them kind of something, you know. Justice bought and sold to the highest bidder. The nature of justice, that ought not to be so. Justice is supposed to be available equally to every single human being. And if the world is structured that way there, something inherently wrong with the way the world is structured. You see other luxury thing them, like a yacht and a Rolls Royce and a Ferrari and all of them something, fine, you know. Fine, you know, all of them something must be based on affordability. But something like justice that is dispensed by the state, it's not supposed to be dependent on affordability. Tell me if it makes no sense. But we called for the time being. Thank God Survives Cartel have the resources to expose the flaw in the system. Because if he never have the resources, he would have lost like a ball. We get hit out of the park. Maverick out. Maverick out. Go and do the right thing. We just say I think out of the box, same way. I think above the noise. We are going.